Yeah. And today's the first thing is we'll look at Unit 13. This is one of the important novels. This is Unit 13, Mahashweta Devi's Mother of 1084. This is one of the important novel, from Mahashweta Devi. And voice is not clear, sir. How is this, madam, right now?
Yeah, it's okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Three questions from this unit. They are critically examine the dramatic concern of social purpose as it is revealed in the play. Earlier, this is a play in Bengali, it's a play, and the later in English, when it comes to, they have written the play as well as a novel, and it is adapted as a movie also. I told you it is available on YouTube. Just watch that movie. Comment on the technique adapted by the play. Attempt a study of these are the three questions. But in overall, what you're supposed to do is just write the summary in a critical point of view. Write the summary in a critical point of view by mentioning four important characters. By mentioning four important characters from this unit. If you look at the textbook on page number 106, there are four things mentioned in this book. 13.2, writer and the audience. 13.3, text as history. 13.4, family. And 13.5, representation. These four things are important in this novel for our examination point of view. One is writer and the audience, text as history, family, and representation. This novel is based on West Bengal background. And before looking to this, we should look at the author Mahashweta Devi. She is one of the great writer in Indian writing in English. She has written about tribal lives. She represented the tribal lives in her writing. She is a poet, she is a writer, she is an essayist. she's a novelist, she's a playwright. She played many roles, but she is considered as a downtrodden people's writer because she focused on the lives of tribals. She traveled across the tribal belt in West Bengal, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, and Jharkhand, that part of area where the tribals are living. In that area, she traveled vastly and documented their lives in a fictional manner, in a direct manner, in an essay format, in a poem format. So that is why she is considered as one of the great Indian English writer. And later, through her characters in her fictional writing and the characters' representation, their background, and their themes, through their themes, she is also considered as she is a feminist writer because she focused not only on the downtrodden people, she focused on the women and women's issues related to the within the community. The tribals and the downtrodden people are the lowest of the lower strata people in the society. And within the lower strata people, the women are unrecognized people. They do not have a status. So she spoke many things from their point of view, from the women's issues, not only from the downtrodden people, and she also addressed many upper class people, middle class people, elite people, also part of the characters in her works. And such kind of a character is one of the character is in our today's novel, Mother of 1084. This is the background of this woman writer. And please write down, there are four important characters. One is Sujata. She is the protagonist of the novel. She is narrating the story to us. Sujata is narrating the story to us about Brati. Brati is the son. About Brati. Sujata Chatterjee. Chatterjee is representing that suffix is representing a upper caste person. Sujata Chatterjee. She is a mother. Brati Chatterjee. He is a son. Divyanath Chatterjee. We in our Telugu language we call it a Divyanath, but there is no va. There is a ba. In pronunciation, you must have learned these things in your first year growth and structure phonetics class. Divyanath. In generally, we call here as a Divyanath. For example, we call him as a Rabindranath Tagore in our Telugu language, but in Bengal, we called as a Rabindranath Tagore, Ba, in the place of Va. So in that way, this person name is Divyanath Chatterjee. This Divyanath Chatterjee is husband of Sujata and father of Brati. Sujata, Brati, Divyanath, and one more important person name is Nandini. Nandini is the girlfriend of Brati. There are many other characters, but the entire story is revolving around these four people and their characterization and their representation from different corners of the human life, social life, and individual life, from their social status, economic status, and academic status, employment status. Those things we are going to look at now. We are looking, or else we are reading the story in the perspective as a social history. Sujata is narrating her story, her son's story, in the form or in the name of a social history. While she is narrating the story, we can understand how the society was constructed, it built, and it created an image to an individual person and to the whole community. Such things we are going to look at in this novel. This Madraf 1084. One second. Yeah. Is published in the 1973. No problem. Not sharing event. Not sharing Mali outlet. Sharing outlet. Then me to the contact lo unta. Okay. Okay. Right. Is this slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is about this person's biography, author's biography. So just passed away 6 years back. She is known as a Bengali writer. She has written most of the things in Bengali, and her writings considered for literary theory also. There are many thinkers and writers, the literary theory, literary criticism, or contemporary theory people have taken her stories as an examples in reconstructing the history. The way we are reading the history is a different format. And there is another format. Some historians and other field social scientists developments, alternative histories. It is called subaltern studies. It is called subaltern studies. Most of her Mahashweta Devi's works are considered as a subaltern studies. Alternate. It's an alternative history. We are studying the mainstream history. Which king has done what he built, where he built, and how he fought. These things we studied in the history. But we missed many people in making that history. These people were the women and lower caste people, downtrodden people, and tribal people. If we bring them into the mainstream history, the entire history and the reading and the perspective of the reading of this history will be changed. So in that manner, many subaltern thinkers have taken Mahashweta Devi works, literary works, as a source to reconstruct the Indian history from an alternative point of view. That is one of the important things. And you can see that she worked for tribal rights, tribal empowerment, especially most of the time she spent for the tribal things, because she lived in a part, she brought up in the Kolkata. She's also an upper middle class person, the writer, but she completely engaged in lower caste people, tribal people, the tribal people that covers that entire North Indian and East Indian belt area, especially West Bengal, and which is close to the Bihar and the Chhattisgarh, the Bihar and the Jharkhand and the Madhya Pradesh, this border. She traveled extensively to document their lives, and she got many awards. Sahitya Academy Award, Raman Megase Award for serving these people, Padma Vibhushan, Jnanapith Award, all the things we can document. This is about her story. And the translation happened in the 1997, the play of Madraf 1084, Hazar Chaurasia Maan, and it represents one of the social movement. Now we call it as an anti-social movement, but in those days it is a social transformation movement called as Naxalite movement or Naxalbari, because the Naxalite movement began in West Bengal itself in a place called Naxalbari under the leadership of Samchar Majumdar, and it spread. It is a land reforms movement. Yeah, that begins in the name of a land reforms movement in the place called Naxalbari. In those days, the land was is only the feudal community people, and it should be distributed every person and labor. A bonded labor, and to eradicate this bonded labor system and to treat them equal, party was ruling in that time. It was greatly influenced the entire Bengali state and Bengali geographical location. So under that influence, under the spread of this ideology, the Naxalite movement ideology, many people were get influenced and joined into that movement and slowly spreading the movement across the state, and later it escalated into other states also. It is the story's background is in the 1950s and 1967, 1963, that time the story setup was. So same as many people, especially the university graduates, university students, and protagonist Sujata Chatterjee, our protagonist Sujata Chatterjee's son. Was, I am receiving some remote control, this and that. Is my voice audible to you? I don't know. There is some arrow mark. Hello. Is my
Yes,
voice
sir.
audible?
Okay.
Please
Yes, sir.
someone is controlling.
Sometimes struck, sir.
Marks. Please don't control me. Be distracted from controlling.
Sir, your voice is not clear, sir.
Not if it is not okay, it's a problem from your side, madam. I have
Sir, please stop and sir,
one
I'll
second.
direct you, please stop annotating. Sir. More, go to more options.
1 second. Actually, 1 second. I'm not good at an operator. Good at an I will see. Wait 1 second. I will get back to you. Yeah. What shall I?
So go to more options. This on the right corner, bottom, meeting settings.
Meeting info. I don't have the settings because I'm not the
More, sir, more.
copy stream. So
Last,
the option is not
the
here.
right bottom corner.
Yeah. Last, I clicked on the more. I clicked on the more. What shall I do here?
The meeting settings, sir. Hit meeting settings. There you have annotate. Disable that button.
Okay. Okay, I got it. Okay, thank you. Right. Right. And this is the background of this story is narrating to us through the Sujata. This story is not a direct story. After 1 year of death anniversary, they are celebrating. Some of the friends of this person, Brathi's friends, were celebrating his death anniversary. In that death anniversary, Sujata was narrating and recalling her memories with her son to us. This is the background and setting of the novel. And Sujata, born into an affluent family, she is from an elite and rich class woman from the Kolkata itself. Married to Divyanath, he is a chartered accountant working in a bank. He is a chartered accountant working in a bank, but his financial status is not equal to the Sujata. Though, despite of that, she married him and she came and joined in his family. These people, the Sujata and Divyanath has a 4 people, 2 daughters and the 2 sons. 2 daughters are the Jyoti Chatterjee and Tuli Chatterjee. The Jyoti and Brathi is the younger son, the last one, and Tuli is unmarried here. So this man is living in his college days. Brathi is living in his college days. He is going and is slowly getting influenced by this Naxalite movement and the Communist Party ideology, the Land Reforms Acts, all the things whatever is happening in those days. In those days, the movement was first slowly was circulated in the universities and the colleges. The universities, the young blood immediately get attracted to it or else get influenced to it, this movement, and slowly they went into the underground. It's not a main movement, it's an underground movement because the state is abolished. Earlier, this is a mainstream movement, but when it took place of the violence against the state, against some people, some important people or important communities or some landlords in the society. It later, the state is considered this movement as, that is why the government abolished this movement are the criminals, and they are like
Hello, sir.
it has a separate. Yes.
Sir, your voice is breaking too much, sir.
What's it? Okay, 1 second. I will reconnect my internet and we'll get back. We'll get back. now?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now is it
Yes,
okay?
sir. Now okay, sir.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So they use a separate terminology in the moment. It's a comrade. So one of their comrade is they take these people when they were hiding somewhere else. When they were hiding somewhere else, they that's one of the comrade betrayed them. So police people went and encountered them along with his 3 associates. Now the police people called the family member. All 3 bodies were identified except this Brothy body was not identified. When the Brothy's father received a call from the police station, he doesn't want to go there and to claim the bodies from his family member, from that is his son's body, because if he identifies and claims that body of his son, it will be a problem to him. It's a social prejudice, how the people will think of him, because he is a government employee and he has some reputation in the society. If he claims he is my son, how society will treat me? That is his understanding. And even he did not inform the same thing to the son also, same thing to his wife, because he did not care for her opinion. He did not give any special priority to her in the family. Immediately he make a call to his elder son Jyoti to inform these things. There she felt very bad, this lady, and no family member is not allowed to visit the police station and to take that body. So the police people gave a number to this unidentified corpse, that is 1084. Our title is a mother of 1084 instance. For the dead body, for that corpse, the police has given a number 1084. So that 1084 body's mother is speaking to us now. Why happened? What happened to his son and why it happened? And what was the history behind his death? These things she is narrating to us. And at the same time, she is quarreling, she is fighting against her own husband. Now we'll get back and look at his husband's character. This person is a middle class person. This Divyanath Chatterjee is a chartered accountant, well educated person, but he is a womanizer. He is a womanizer. He is not caring about his children and about his wife. When he was in the deficit of some of the financial things, when he went through the financial crisis, that time, what he does, he fixed a job for her in a bank, in an assumption that she will take care of the family things through her salary. She does the same thing and she went for a job for 3 years. After 3 years, this man asked her to stop the job. Anyway, our financial crisis is over. That time, that woman, the Sujata Chatterjee, did not agree with him and she continued her job. Slowly, she was isolating in the family. And her 2 sons, one daughter and son is getting married and they went away. And she is closely developing a close relationship with her son, and she is sharing everything with him. And she knows that this man is indulged in these anti-social activities or else this Naxalite movement, and he was moving here and there. She's all about aware of these things. And she's one side she is happy and other side she is unhappy. Because someday there might be something happen to him. That is her hunch. And in other way, this Brati is not like her other brother and other sisters, because he is thinking on his own, is living independently in his thoughts. But his brothers and sisters are not like that. They are just a common people, and they are living like a living in a what is this, subjugation to the societal norms and family norms. They don't have any individual opinion like that. But this mother, Sujata, always interested in his younger son because he is taking decisions on his own, and he is being and becoming a responsible person towards society and towards himself also. He is not depending on any other family. And this is the another part about this Bharati and Sujata's relationships. And third thing we should look at here, this girl Nandini. Nandini is his girlfriend in the college days to the Naxalite movement. And later, Sujata met Nandini to know about his son's activities, what happened exactly during his days when he left the home and joined in the underground Naxalite movement. She came to know many things through the Nandini's words. Nandini was narrating the story of the
Sir,
underground life.
Nandini, who is girlfriend, sir?
Bharati's girlfriend, Bharati
Okay.
Chatterjee. Only we are discussing only 4 characters, not other characters. Nipar, Jyoti, we are not discussing. We are not discussing any other police officer character, politician character. Only 4 characters we are looking at. That to be in a social history point of view. And Nandini was narrating another dimension, adding another dimension to this novel, like how was the Naxalites' life in the underground, how they behave, how they talk, what they discuss, and how they act, and those dark days of these Naxalite people. All these things she shared to the Sujata. And then only she come to know, oh, people living like this in other part of the same world, or other side of the same world. We are living in the mainstream society, and these people living in an alternative life and working for the society. There she come to know that. So why we are fighting and what kind of life we are leading. In every way, our life is get influenced by the society, societal policies, and societal lawmakers, politicians, and the policies. One side, and at the same time, these policies, these politicians and leaders, and sometimes the state is also working against to the some of the people in the name of the anti-social activities. So there is a equal dimension in between them, equal dimensions in between them, but they are in a different world. These two different worlds, the two parallel worlds, she is trying to club together in this novel. And another thing we should look at here, from the family point of view. From the family point of view, the family point of view, this is the Sujata and her husband. Earlier, they are the very good people. It seems to be outward. It seems to be the wife is employed, the husband is employed. They are very good employees in a respectable positions in the society. From a common man perspective, it looks like that, and they have a good children. They are happily married. They are happily married, happily living, happily doing their jobs. Except this fellow Bharati is against to their family wishes and against to the state policies. And he went and participated in anti-social or anti-state activities and died. This kind of assumption was there from a longer distance. In a larger picture, longer distance. But when we look at into their lives, the story is completely different. Because the wife and husband, they are the very good people, seems to be very good people, but there is no good understanding, good homely and family relationships in between them, because this person is living in a double standard life. One side, he is maintaining a reputation in the society. Other side, he is losing his morals. He lost his morals. He is behaving on his own. And this man is a kind of a womanizer. Whoever said he doesn't change, he is an incorrigible womanizer. He doesn't change his attitude. So that means he is not respecting his wife at all. And at the same time, he has seen his wife as a just an economic opportunity. Just economic opportunity, because she's a rich girl, she can brought some property or money to his family. If that money is get over, and he asked her to do the job, and he fixed the job for her. And later, when his family is come out of the financial crisis, he asked her to stop it, because he is not giving any individual priority to her, any preference to her. Though she is a studied, educated woman, she completed her Bachelor of Arts in English, and a lot of other things she had, but he is not bothered about it, because why? It's a patriarchal society. The male is the dominant person. Whatever he does, chalta hai. It's going on the name of a man and a male-dominated society. He is the first member of the family. Though she is an employed woman, educated woman, salaried woman, she doesn't have any priority. That we can see in many times. First thing is that the financial crisis, when she helped him, that time we can see that. And when her son died, he did not discuss about his death with her, with his wife. That means, no, she is a woman, what she can do. And also he stopped her to go and visit his corpse in the police station. But she did not listen to his words, and she went and identified, this person is my son. So that means that is the beginning. We look at from a woman's perspective, woman's point of view. She is getting slowly a revelation, a rebel kind of a nature. Actually, she is not a rebel. Her son is considered as a rebel here, because rebel means is going against the societal norms, the systematic norms, the socially accepted rules and regulations. Now she is trying to become the rebel when she is disapproved her husband's wish, and she visited her son's corpse and claimed the son's body is ours. From that time onwards, slowly she is trying to collect her energy, her strengths, her identity, and started to speaking about the things and try to understand the society exactly what it is, not like the utopian world. She is not assuming that. She is directly feeling, experiencing, understanding the society, the social reality, what it is exactly existing in front of her eyes, in front of her senses. These are the things we should look at in this novel. Yeah. These people, the representation, whenever we look at this, what is this, this Naxalite movement or communist ideology, they use the term, this is the bourgeois society, bourgeois society. So in this bourgeois society, these two people, the Bratis family, mother, father, brothers, sisters, they are representing this bourgeois society. They are living in the same conditions like others are living, but this man is not living like them. He finds an alternative way to live and is participating, distribute the finances or economy to everyone. Everyone should be respectable. Everyone should be treated equally. That was the idea of Bratis ideology, what he believed, what he trusted. But even in that trusted philosophy or trusted ideology, there are betrayals. Because of that betrayal, he died in the police encounter and left alone. There were no people to identify his body, even from his family members. They were afraid to come and identify or claim this body is our family. So such kind of situation was existing in the society. These people are representing one different kind of a bourgeois ideology. And they're like in a kind of a prejudiced societies. No, if we do these things, how the society will react to us, how the state will react to us. So such kind of fear they were living in it. But the Sujata is broke out that stereotypical understanding and come out of the family and claimed it. After 1 year, she is collecting all her energies and narrating the story to us. This is the just a summary, small summary about this mother of 1084. And they have the 3 questions. There are 3 questions. The 3 questions. You should read this. You should read in a social history point of view. Remember, this is a novel. All the elements has it. It has a plot, characters, characterization, themes, backgrounds. All the things were there, but it is narrating a history. a history of the past. What happened in the 1960s and 1970s to a young man called Bharati, and the Bharati's relationship with his mother, and what is her mother's status in the society, in the family, and psychologically how she was, and later how she reacted to her Bharati's death, and how she started speaking about her son's death, how she reconstructed the events that happened in the underground of the Naxalite movement. These things she spoke, and she was addressing a gathering of his fellow comrades in a meeting. Is my voice audible?
Yes,
sir.
sir. Very
Yes, sir.
clearly.
Oh, fine.
Yes, sir.
I completed this unit. I completed this unit. Just remember the summary. Take some what is this biography of in the first paragraph. Whenever compulsory, there will be a question. Mother of 1084, either in 6 marks or 10 marks. So there.
So what is the conclusion of this story, sir? They are afraid to find his son.
No, she identified the body. Now we should understand Sujata Chatterjee's. She was a naive and innocent, very humble, homely family woman. She respects everything despite of the cheatings, despite of the cheating of her husband, despite of the passive nature of her son, her daughter, because of their subjugation into the society and the fake reputations, fake prejudices, all the things she went through that. She consoled herself. But once her son is dead, when the family is not ready to come out, that time she come out. She broke the prejudices. Now she is becoming the rebel. She is becoming the rebel not in terms of the social and anti-social, state and anti-state, in terms of the moral, in terms of the morals. Yes, we should stand for our rights. That is the conclusion. We should speak. We should speak. How long we can stay like this? How long we can be silenced? That is the conclusion. We suppose not to silence. We should speak out. We should speak the truth. Then only we can get the justice. That is the idea.
Thank you, sir.
And the next one is Mahashweta Devi is done. And next one, I am going to unit 16, Nagamandala, Girish Karnad. Did you watch this movie? Did you happen to watch? Unit 16. Unit 16, page
Sir,
number
is
128.
it a movie?
There is a movie on YouTube, but it is available only in Kannada language. Easy to understand. Kannada is not the difficulty. I go through the
No, sir, we are
subtitles.
not aware of Kannada, sir. Only
No,
Telugu,
there are
Hindi,
subtitles,
English.
madam. The Telugu
Oh.
movie, I don't know why didn't they upload. There is a bits and pieces. Telugu movie is also available, but in bits and pieces. Some parts are available. Okay. Anyway, I come back.
So page number?
Page number 128.
Okay, sir.
Page
Girish
number-
and Karnad.
Girish Karnad. He is one of the Gnanapith Award, like our Mahashweta Devi. Mahashweta Devi also got a Gnanapith Award. And he is also got a Gnanapith Award. Girish Karnad is one of the finest Indian writer. He writes in regional language as well as in English language, because he studied in England, Cambridge. He got a fellowship. This man, Girish Karnad, got a fellowship called a famous fellowship that's called as a Rhodes Fellowship. For 3 years, government will bond everything, your lodging, boarding, college fees, and everything. Only those people have along with their degree, some extracurricular activities or sports, those people can avail this fellowship. He's one among that Rhodes Fellowship member. On the Rhodes Fellowship, he went and studied. If you look at his biography on the page number 128, there you will come to know that he studied in Karnataka itself. He studied, but where he was studying in Karnataka University, he studied mathematics. If you look at it, he studied mathematics,
Yes, mathematics and statistics.
But on Rhodes Fellowship, he studied philosophy, politics, and economics in London. See, there is a completely different philosophy, politics, and economics. These two are the two different directions. he studied these things because that higher level of education, scholarship that can give this kind of a facility, whatever the subject we are interested to study. They won't ask you to study only in the same streamline which we opted for. Okay, apart from these things, his mother tongue is Konkani, which doesn't have a script. In Karnataka, the Kannada language, especially in the Karnataka, is closely associated with the Goa also, the Mangalore part, and it is closely associated with the Maharashtra and Goa. This is called as the Konkan belt, Konkan geographical area. It's called as the Konkan belt. In this Konkan belt, his mother tongue is Konkani, which doesn't have a script. This is a official language of Goa. Konkan, official in sense, most of the people will speak Konkani language. And the second language, which doesn't have a script in Karnataka, is Tulu language. Tulu. And the third language, third in sense, this is the first and major language which has a script, which is also very ancient language, is the Kannada language. This man, though his mother tongue is Konkani, he writes in Kannada language. He got the award, the Jnanapith Award for the Kannada writings, as well as, of course, his contribution in the English writing also. He is a famous Indian playwright, novelist, poet, writer, critic, and producer also. And he is an actor. Girish Karnad is an actor, famous actor. Girish Karnad is an actor also. And this story, the present story, is a Nagamandala, is based on a folk story. He is the man who combines the folk stories into one story and applies it to the mainstream stories. If at all you have a chance in the future, or else if you have a leisure time, just Google it. A story called Hayavadana, Hayavadana, Hayavadana. That is also a folk story, folk related story, metaphoric transformations. But it was a beautiful story. And same like this Nagamandala. Same like this Nagamandala. For MA mainstream, that MA regular students has this text Hayavadana. For distance education people, you have this Nagamandala. And he is greatly influenced by the oral stories or the folk stories or mythical stories. This oral and folk are the same because the folk stories are narrated orally. So that is why oral and folk stories are the same. And these oral or folk stories are closely connected with the Indian mythology, either Mahabharata or the Ramayana. Most of the characters closely, somewhere they connect it. In our earlier discussion, I said this, if we go to Kashmir to Kanyakumari, there is somewhere the existence of the Ramayana and Mahabharata evidences were there. So these things connected. If we travel to some other place, it will connect us. Okay, I am being Indian. I am an Indian because I know this story. I have this kind of a belief and practice system. Such kind of ideas were closely connecting us, irrespective of the geographical location, irrespective of the cultures and the language. This man also does the same thing. Girish Karnad. Girish Karnad takes the stories from the mythology and epics and the folks. He applies them with his own style of writing and perform or narrate it to the audience. In that way, he has mentioned the story is a Nagamandala. In this Nagamandala, the idea of Girish Karnad, the idea of Indian writing in English, idea of Indian English writing, he mentioned this. He mentioned about not only he mentioned, the many critics talks about the way of Indian writing, how we are studying, how we should look at that. One is the pre-independence and the post-independence. Pre-independence and post-independence, and in between that, a colonial mindset. Pre-independence, post-independence. Pre-independence is influenced by some other things. Post-independence is influenced by some other things. Though in between these influences, still we are the colonial mindset people. We think how the colonies left that kind of an ideology to refigure or to re-identify ourselves in a different realm and different opportunities. That is what these people says. Girish Karnad and others. We'll look at the questions here.
So it is saying about the folk stories, how
Yes,
it
ma'am.
was
This is
narrated.
a folk story. This is a folk story.
Oh,
This is a folk story. The folk story. It's called in the name of the Naga. Naga is the snake. Naga is the snake. And please, what is this? Where is this? Write down there are 5 characters. Sorry, 4 characters. One is Appanna. You should remember this this one. Appanna, because Nagamandala and 1084 from this block. Mahashweta Devi, Girish Karnal. Mahashweta Devi, Girish Karnal. Yeah, Mahashweta Devi, Girish Karnal are important. One of these questions will come, either this or that, from this block. One
sir,
is
will you
short of
repeat once again?
13 and
Mahashweta
16.
Devi.
13 and 16. Unit 13 and unit 16. Mahashweta Devi is mother of 1084 and Girish Karnat's Nagamandala. Most of the times they come together. One is in 10 marks,
okay,
another one is 6 marks, like that. The interchange.
So character is Appanna.
Appanna. One character name is Appanna. He is a husband. Appanna is a husband and a small spoiled male. Spoiled male, in sense he represents the male domination. Male domination. And next one is Rani. R-A-N-I. Rani. She is wife of Appanna. Wife of Appanna. And another one is Nag. Nag in sense it's a black cobra. Nag is black cobra.
Sir, please repeat once again.
I will screen that. I will screen a slide, madam. 1 second. Nag, N-A-A-G. Nag. Nag means snake. Black cobra. Black
Okay, sir.
cobra.
Fourth one.
Fourth one is a grandmother. Just a grandmother. This is about his biography, Girish Karnat's biography. He's a very good playwright. If you look at here, often using history and mythology to tackle contemporary issues. He takes the folk stories and mythical stories, applies to the contemporary situations. That is his specialty. His plays have been translated into many Indian languages. They have received many awards. Yeah. Coming back to this Nagamandala. Naga means snake. The mandala is a sign and a symbol. It has a spiritual and a ritual significance because you frequently ask a question, what are the 4 Nagamandala story? Or else in Girish Karnat's Nagamandala story. Or else describe the folk elements or mythical elements in Girish Karnat plays. Something like that, the question will come. whatever the question, however they ask, you should remember four things. One is about his specialty of writing. Second one is how the way he uses the myths and folk stories. And the third thing, how he applies them into the social context, social norms. And the third thing is the style of writing. The style of writing, and along with the style of writing, you should give a summary. Give a summary of the story. We have only one story, so remember this summary and write it down. Write it down in 4 or 5 paragraphs. Having a spiritual and ritual significance, because the snakes have a special significance in our Indian traditions. Every Nagula Chauthi, we offer the milk to the snakes, and if we visit the temples everywhere since the Shaiva tradition, temples always have this kind of a Naga idols. That kind of spiritual and ritual significance is there, and it signifies Karnat's version of theater as a whole, unifying complete experience. Okay, this is a different thing. We'll discuss it later. Yeah, the theme of this play, is dealing with the masculinity and femininity in patriarchal social order. Masculinity and femininity, both things it is discussing. Remember, this is not only discussing one thing, masculinity and femininity, through the mythical stories or through the folk stories. How it is discussing in a patriarchal social order, masculinity and femininity, both two sides it is discussing in a patriarchal social order. The patriarchal social order is always discussing the society is male dominated, the woman is a secondary person, she is subjugated to the man and the societal rules. And the second point is it is dealing with the social casing. Social casing, how the social casing happening? It has certain demands and certain invisible rules on women. So these rules always controls the woman. This comes under category of the social casing, because man always treats I'm sorry, not always. Man treats woman as an object or a sexual object, or else as a property of his own family reputation.
Sir, kindly address the mic. Voice is not audible.
No, it's very close to my mouth. I lost the signal again. Is it okay now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Clear only.
Yes, sir.
Very lost. Okay, then I'll move to another point. Yeah, before coming this, how the social order, we'll look at the things about what is happening in the story. I will give a brief discussion or description about the story. This Appanna is a rich person, affluent person, rich in the sense. The story setup is in a village. It's a village-based story. The village is constructed by certain rules, certain norms, and certain traditions. So most of the times, if you look at the village structure and the family structures or community structures and the associations are always depends on oral rules. If an elder, the village elder says something, or else if a community elder says something, so that is the rule. We cannot go against to that, because we are living in a certain culturally confined geographical location. So we cannot violate them. If we violate, and they will expel from the society, we will be isolated. The person will be isolated. So such kind of things were existing in that setup. Our Girish Karnat, take an example of one village setup. Please, madam, please stop. Vamshik Kinnera, please mute yourself. And this man is Appanna. Appanna the character that represents a male domination, like is a perfectly a man of arrogant, a man of masculinity, and he thinks that whatever he does, that shows his identity and reputation. Before his marriage, he has a relationship with a lady. That lady name is not required now. Uh, she is an elderly lady. Elderly lady. He has a relationship with her, and frequently he visits her house also. But one day, her family decided to marry him to a girl. This girl name is Rani. She is a very innocent, naive, and the quote and unquote culturally maintained woman. A very family-oriented woman. She is subjugated and submissive. She is submissive to the man, submissive to the traditions, submissive to the family customs, conditions, and everything. Very naive, innocent, and sometimes coming with the fear. The fear, why she is with the fear? This lady comes from a different family background, and her parents, she is a kind of orphan kind of a woman, but not orphan. And they told her, don't go against your husband's wishes or husband's words. Always obey whatever he says. That is the thing. The people said to her and sent it to her husband's home. This man, Appanna, uses her only as a property. He is not caring her. He is always shouts on her. He shows arrogance to her, or arrogance on her. And just he is treating her in the morning and the evening whenever he requires the food. That means hungry. Whenever he is hungry for food needs, he come and eat the food, take the bath, and went away to the other places. First, he goes to his agricultural fields, and next he visits to the lady who has an affair with him. And he is not caring her. He is not caring Ragini. And whenever he is leaving the house, he closed the door and locked it. Rani was alone in that house, and she was in a fear. She doesn't know what to do. Her husband is not a free mind person. He is not sharing, she is not able to share with him anything, and he is not speaking lovingly. There is no love in between them. But she is a wife, she is a very innocent wife, and brought up in the Indian traditions. However, her husband is, she should respect him and praise him. She is in that manner. So there is no love in between them. Whenever he locked in the night and the daytimes, she was alone. She was fearing of her own inhibitions, her own fears, her own fear of ghosts or invisible sounds, some images on her mind. And she always expects a great love from her husband, but it is not fulfilled. One day, one of her granny, this granny, this Appanna, sorry, what is this? Rani's granny. She asks her, when she was inside the house is locked. Through the window, she asks her, what is happening in between you? She said nothing. Then that grandmother thought about it, and she brought some churna, some Ayurvedic medicine in a small cover, and give it to her, and mix this powder in the milk and give it to you. He won't leave you. That suggestion or advice gave to this Rani. In the beginning, she happily took that, but she took the milk and she mixed that powder in that milk. But whenever she is trying to bring that milk towards him, she was in a fear. She afraid of it. What he realizes, what if he knows about this mixture? He may beat me, he may slap me, he may kill me. She was in that fear. And suddenly she stops that. She stops giving them. And that fellow was speaking very harshly. What are you doing whenever I am asking something to drink? You are not giving anything. She was in a frightening mode. And she went out to spill or else throw the milk. When she was trying to throw the milk, and that milk was spilled somewhere in the pit where the snake lies. In the pit where the snake lies. The milk slowly dropped into the pit, and the snake drank this milk. This was the story. After drinking other glass of milk by this Appanna, same in the regular manner, in the routine, he locked the door and went to his girlfriend's house. In the night, she was in a fear. She was alone, sitting on the bed. That time, this Churna is doing its work. The snake entered into this Appana's house through a bathroom hole. In sense, whenever they're taking the bath, that has the drainage pipe hole. It entered through the drainage pipe hole and came into the house. In the same snake, it came as a snake. But whenever this lady, Rani, saw the snake, she was afraid. She was afraid to look at the snake and she cried like anything. Immediately, the snake disappeared from there and thought that, yes, I am a snake. She might be afraid by looking at me. Then that snake transforms himself into her husband's guise, like her husband, like Appanna. This man, the snake, when it turns into Appanna's shape, Appanna's appearance, he was smiling. He was with the romantic looks. He is looking very lovely, and he came to her with a love, and he was speaking very beautiful, palatable words and caring words. He was trying to care her. This lady was in shock. Is this the same man? Every day I am looking at him. Why he is behaving like this? And slowly they made a relationship. Every morning, this Appanna goes to the field and have the food in the night, and he locked the door and went to his girlfriend's name. The snake comes in the guise of Appanna. This lady, Rani, has a suspicion. Here, the snake and the Appanna, in her point of view, they are maintaining one is a lovable guy and other one is the arrogant guy. Whom should she recognize? She doesn't know. She is in a confusion. But whenever the night comes, he is a very romantic, lovable person. She thought that in her mind, whenever in the morning this Appanna turns into the house, she speaks in that same romantic manner. That fellow treats her arrogantly. She was in a shattering manner and surprising manner. And one day he realizes, how he realizes, when she was sleeping on the bed. Morning, he came from her girlfriend's house, and he saw her on the bed. She was sleeping in a different position with the half naked dresses or something, sleeping in a different position. He shocked that someone is coming into my house without my absence, in my absence, without my notice. Then that man wanted to caught him and wanted to kill him. One day in the night, he locked the door and waiting for him. What he knows, that Appanna knows, the entire house is closed and I also locked the door. There is no place to go inside. This is his idea. But the snake is going through the drainage tunnel into the place. And whenever this man is waiting for that man, whenever his Appanna is waiting for the man inside, then he heard many times laughs, some romantic sounds, words inside the house. And he broke the lock and entered into the house. There is nothing. That snake disappears immediately. He was very angry. One fine day, this lady, Rani, got pregnancy. This man is shocked. I did not touch her. How she can be the pregnant? That is his question. And he abused her and he maligned her character. Maligned in the sense, no, without touching her. Without touching her, how she can become the pregnant? That is his question. He brought this issue to the village elders and his community elders. They conducted a panchayat. In that panchayat, they asked her to, no, you are saying that that lady, Rani, says that without my husband, I never think of any other person, even in my mind. So I am ready to do anything. He is responsible for my pregnancy. That is the Ranish version. And this Appanna's version, I did not even touch her. How can she become a pregnant? I am also ready. This person, both people are ready. Then the village elders, as suggested Rani, there is a snake pit. You go and put your hand into the snake pit. If the snake bites you, you will. That means you are cheated your husband. If it doesn't bite you, so you are a genuine person. Your character is not malign or molested. That is the proposal they said to her. She is ready, and she went to the snake pit and pray the god. Even in my dream also, I never thought of any other person. any other person. My husband is the only person I know. And then she put her hand in the snake pit, and snake did not bite her. Then all village elders approved that she is the genuine person. Appanna is only making allegations against her cunningly. That they decided, no, you are doing a wrong thing. Please take care of your wife and respect her and treat her well. They suggested him and sent them back. But Appanna knows genuinely he did not touch her, and he was waiting for that person. He closed everything. But somehow the snake is managed to come inside and treating her well because she is a pregnant one. She is pregnant to that snake. That snake in the appearance of a Appanna, treating well and giving a lot of lovable things to her, caring her. And in that, under his caring, under his treatment, she was very happy. And this person is not able to digest that. He wanted to kill the people. One day, he identified snake is coming and playing with my wife. He wanted to kill that snake. And there will be a battle.
How he came to know that about that snake, sir?
So one day he break the lock, and he saw that the snake is going through some small hole.
Okay, sir.
There he come to know that he dragged that, and the snake came and entered into her snake pit, and he demolished that, and he digged that snake pit, and the snake came out, and both are fighting each other. In that fight, the snake died. And snake died, and snake head told that it is you. According to the snake, it said, it is you, it is not me. You are the responsible person because I went through her in your appearance, in your manner. You don't have this kind of characteristics. You should maintain these characteristics and take care of her and respect her, give a love to her. These words she said and went on. This is the story. This is the story of Nagamandala.
Snake said to his her husband,
Yes.
sir.
Her
Moral
husband. Before the snake dies, she said.
Snake died, sir.
Snake dies. Before the snake's death, her snake's head speaks this.
Okay, sir. It was a nice explanation.
Please watch that. Actually, I did not explain nicely. Thank you for your comment. Watch that movie. You will enjoy more.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, this is the story. And in this story, what we should understand, a mythical point, how the society lives. And on page number 133, Rani, sexuality, domesticity, there is a subtopic in this text. Please read that. You will come to know that entire thematic explanation.
Sure, sir.
Oh, it's 11:59. That means my time is done.
Yes, sir. On 12 o'clock, another class is there,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, please read this story, Shame, on your own. The summary, it is dealing with a lot of socio-political history in the Pakistan, 3 generations of the Pakistan. I will explain only the thematic perspective for the unit 17. Unit 17, I don't say on this online session, you can skip that. But read it. Read the thematic lines. I will explain to you for 10 minutes, not now.
Sir, all 15 lessons are completed, sir. About
Yes, madam.
lessons.
It's almost all completed, except this Anita Desai and Shame is left here. In this one short story, I want to complete today. I don't know whether the admin is allowing me or not. because you have only two stories. One is this one, Ishmat Chukta is spilled, and unit 18 is the Volgas Ioni. The both are dealing with the sexuality, and this is a small story. It is available on internet. First, you read that story in the next class. For next Sunday, please read that story. Ioni. It's a very small 1.5 page story. It's available on world feminist websites. Volga, it's a small story. You can understand, because I want to discuss much more things. You read the sub-contents. I will explain page number 149, because it is dealing with a lot of sexuality and sexual connotation and women's body parts, organs, such things it is discussing. The textbook itself is discussing around the things. The question will come, how a woman's body is a political story, in that way. And read these subtopics, you can understand it. Then I will spend for 5 minutes or 10 minutes on this thematic explanation. I won't go into the story. And you
Sure,
can read
sir.
these things, because most of the times they discuss the use of the words of women private parts in the Ioni, Volga. This is also important. Either Ishmat Chuktai or else Ioni. Two short stories. One will come. Remember, one will come. From the Indian regional literature, this Mother of 1084 and Girish Karnad's Nagamandala and Unit 5 Gurajada Apparav's Kanyashulakam. Three are the plays. These are the dramas, plays. Among these three, two will come. And harvest also, Manjula Padmanabhan's harvest also, sorry. These four, among these four, two are compulsory. Among the two are the either Girish Karnad, Nagamandala, Mother of 1084 is mandatory, compulsory. I am stopping here, and we have 3 more classes. I will finish it up. The last black, these are the essays. What is this? Meenakshi Mukherjee, Sharan Kumar Limbale, Gauri Vishwanathan. These 3 are essays. And skip the Hoshang Merchant poems. Unit 19. Unit 19, just skip it. Even though if there is a question, don't worry. Just skip it. This Hoshang Merchant.
So which are 3 essays?
Madam?
Which are essays, sir? Now you just told essays.
Essays 22, 23, 24 units. One is important, Unit 23, Sharan Kumar Limbale, Dalit Literature and Aesthetics. Important, and Gauri Vishwa 22 and 24 are similar. Similar in the sense there is a lot of nearness, closeness in these essays. These 2 essays, even the question comes, you can write it on your own. If you can manage with your own sentences, you can write it. I will tell you what to look at in this essays in point wise. I will tell you. But Sharan Kumar Limbale is a compulsory. Dalit Literature and Aesthetics. Unit 23. Among
Okay,
these
sir.
3 essays.
In block 3, sir?
In block 4.
That I have marked, sir. In block 3, I'm asked.
In block 3, you're saying, no? Block 3, Mahashweta Devi, Girish Karnad, and Volga.
These 3 were important.
These 3 were important. And Anita Desai, Where Shall We Go? The summer is a novel. It's a novel. Just read the summary. It is dealing with a lot of themes and components, other things. Just read the summary. The summary is available online. Just Google it. From the novel point, this is important. This and Train to Pakistan, and the second unit. Unit number 9, Unit 15, Unit 17. Unit 17 are the
block 1 important and block 2 important also, you say, sir?
Yes, madam. This unit has a 24. Remember, you have 18 questions. I will leave. Someone says for the next class. Okay, I will leave the meeting within 1 minute. Very lost. Yeah, remember you have 18 questions in your question paper. We have 24 lessons. You can compare like that, or you can see like that and skip some of the units and prepare for your exam in a simple way. You will have
Okay, sir. Next
18
class
questions.
started.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. I am leaving.